Back sanding. So while I've got the space set up, working on this, still waiting on more resin to arrive for this. Might as well use this kind of bigger space to do some more sanding, rather than doing it outside. So I've got my big sanding blocks, and I'm block sanding to try and keep shape, aerofoil shape with these blocks. Problem is this grit does need changing every now and then, so it is a bit of a process. I can't use a soft bedded blocks because that conforms to the contours and then starts making divots, starts making waves. So I've got to stick with hard blocks that don't move and take my time. Another thing which I found was if I spray a little bit of acrylic red onto my sanding area, it shows me where the hollows are, which then feeds into being able to fill those areas and not spend quite so long sanding. Don't know what time it is at night now, sometime around midnight or so. Starting to feel like Mike Patey, working when the motivation strikes, working through the night. But what we've done here is we have now got this turned over. So I finished laying it one side and now I'm preparing it ready for the other side. So I'm putting some coats of wax on. And we have just made things a bit tidier with some plasticine in some areas where it's not going to matter. Yeah, just put a first coat of wax. This plug had already been waxed 3 times before I put it in to do the other side. So this is the 4th coat of wax on here. Might have a little bit left over from when I did the other side on the parting plane, but I've pulled out little dimples. So those are over here. The 3D printed dimples worked out really well. Cut myself some more vinyl ester resin. This is what I'm using for my resin with some MEKP catalyst. What else can I tell you? Not a lot. Just gotta keep waxing. So after I'd finished adding about 4 or 5 coats of wax, I also PVA'd the plug before putting the tooling coat on and cotton flocking it ready for layup. And the second side is done. So we got that first side done, flipped over, and second side. So you can see it's still glossy because it's still wet. So this is curing at the moment. Came pretty well, pretty happy with it so far. Thanks to Richard Knott and his son Michael, who helped me with the layup. It was really good this afternoon. It was only about an hour and a half to get that side done. Yeah, not too bad. So I've left this sitting here for a few days because I wanted it to harden up nicely before I took it apart. I didn't want the mold warping at all once I had demolded the 2 halves. So I've actually sat this here for actually 5 days now to let it fully harden and set off before taking it apart. So today is the day we find out whether I screwed it up or whether we've got a usable set of molds. Right, so down to this corner. Just did this previously. Chuck this pellet in there. Now I'll work my way across. Alright, I heard the right noises when I was just pulling that before. This is the moment, hopefully, that the mold comes a half. You'll see it's the first time that I do. Oh, there we go, look at that. A little bit of tidy up, and there's one mold. Awesome. That's come off pretty well. Yeehaw! Size comparison. It's not small. And now the next challenge is getting the plug out of the second half, and that's usually the most challenging point of anything. Luckily, I thought ahead, and I've got a little feature here which I can chuck a screwdriver underneath. This works all right, and I can get my hands around it, and we can lift the plug out of the mold. That's been a long process. Look at that. Here's the plugs come out nicely. Mold. And there you go. This is a good moment. This has been a lot of time to get to this point. And now we can get rid of all this plasticine and crap. Still need a bit of a tidy up to get rid of the plasticine, which is of no use anymore, because we've finished sealing the gaps. I'll go around and you'll see it's a little bit kind of not super shiny, but that's because it's got a lot of PVA in it, so I'll wash all that off. Sand up sharp edges, etc., make them a bit more usable. And then I'll probably pop them to the side so I can work on the next plug.